Experience you can trust. CBS News.
Several inches of snow are falling already across the state, but there's several more inches by Monday. We'll talk about that coming up.
The Powerball controversy is over. Find out who's getting how much coming up in live teammate coverage.
Plus, the owner of an Ames bar is found guilty on charges of prostitution.
And a Des Moines man hospitalized tonight after a tank of anhydrous ammonia explodes in his face. Police say he was trying to steal it.
News Channel 8 at 6 is next.
News Channel 8 is the leader in special reports. Cynthia Porter took you behind the scenes of the Miss USA pageant in Branson.
I felt so good about it.
Brian Paulson showed you how to beat crime and become a better eyewitness. Steve Carlin covered the Daytona 500. Todd Magel gave you a sneak peek at the Chicago Auto Show. Cynthia Porter found out if your child's school cafeteria was safe behind kitchen doors. Jeanette Trumpeter took you backstage at the Grammys.
Hello, Des Moines.
And Jeff Greenwood investigated bad landlords. The best special reports. Another reason News Channel 8 is Iowa's news leader.
Taco John's world-famous potato olays, now available in the meat and potato burrito and the new chicken and potato burrito.
Congratulations to News Channel 8's John McLaughlin, winner of the National Weather Association's Broadcaster of the Year Award for developing the RadarNet program to share Super Doppler information with local emergency managers, and co-winner of the NWA's Public Education Award for helping provide discounted weather radios. It's the first time any meteorologist has won both awards. Your most experienced, most accurate, and now most honored meteorologist, John McLaughlin, only on News Channel 8, Iowa's weather leader. It's 6 o'clock, and you're watching KCCI Channel 8 Des Moines, Iowa's news leader. With Kevin Cooney, Jeanette Trumpeter, meteorologist John McLaughlin, and Heidi Soliday Sports. This is News Channel 8.
Well, March is beginning to look more like a lion and less like a lamb. Good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeanette Trumpeter.
And I'm Kevin Cooney. You know, the snow started falling earlier today. It didn't really take that long for some of it to pile up.
Maybe not here in the metro, but parts of southern Iowa are reporting up to 12 inches of snow. Let's get right to meteorologist Brian Carrick in the Weather Center for the latest. Brian?
Well, guys, it did start snowing early this afternoon, and some areas picked up as much as 10 inches of snow down to our south. Here's a time lapse from our west sky cam earlier today as the snow moved through Des Moines. We only picked up a dusting here, most of it melting because we did have some mild soil conditions, and the ground being as warm as it is helped to melt that snow off right away. Live Super Doppler picking up on a couple of areas of snow right now, way off to our far east. You can see right here in a line from just to the north, east or northwest of Dubuque down through Cedar Rapids, all the way down through Ottumwa. Most of the snow coming to an end at this point. We will look for the snow flurries to end as well here in the central part of the state, but we do have a big storm we're going to keep an eye on. It'll be in here for Sunday night into Monday and Tuesday. Could bring us several more inches of snow somewhere in the state. We'll talk about that coming up.
That's the one we've been talking about for the past few
right.
days. All right, thanks, Brian.
Still talking about this one, however, the weather is making for tricky driving conditions tonight in southeast Iowa.
For a check on those road conditions, Sergeant Dave Garrison with the Iowa State Patrol joins us on the phone. Sergeant, how is it going out there?
Well, I think it's slow going in the eastern third of the state, all from north to south in the eastern third. It's 50 to 100% snow and slush covered.
Got any roads that are closed?
No closed roads. However, I did speak with an officer from Cedar Rapids just a little bit ago, and he said that they have about 20 to 25 cars off of in the ditch between Cedar Rapids and Iowa City.
Well, that's a good thing to make note of, because here it just seems just fine, you know, just the wet roads. But obviously to the east, it's a much different picture.
Yes, it is. Apparently the slush is causing a lot of problems. It's making the roads very slick, and then the slush will help pull the cars on into the ditch. So they're fighting quite a problem over there right now.
All right, Sergeant Dave Garrison, we thank you for taking time out of your Friday night to keep us posted. And we want to remind everyone, of course, to drive safely tonight.
Yeah. Well, our other top story tonight, the two former convenience store co-workers who both had laid claim to last month's big Powerball prize are now going to split the jackpot 50-50.
We have teammate coverage for you tonight. Aaron Hurley takes a pulse of the public, so to speak, on the agreement. But first, News Channel 8's Brian Polson joins us live from lottery headquarters with the fallout of all this Powerball controversy. Brian?
That's right, Kevin and Jeanette. The bottom line to all of this is 21-year-old Timothy Schultz and 20-year-old Sarah Elder will share the $15.9 million before-tax prize equally. That's exactly what this three-page trust agreement says. It was filed here today at lottery headquarters, and the key to all of this, really, was Sarah Elder, who you see pictured here, dropping her claim to the prize. that erased the lottery's concern that an underage player may have been involved in the purchase, and it opened the gates for the lottery to pay the prize directly to the Timothy Schultz Revocable Trust. According to the trust agreement, the prize will be paid to the trust, then distributed evenly to the trustees, Schultz and Elder. And on the phone today, Schultz told us he's glad this whole roller coaster event is coming to an end.
You have all these different emotions, and it's tough to deal with, but I think I learned a lot from the whole situation.
Now, both Schultz and Elder say and have told us that they are very happy with the way this whole thing has turned out. Now, Aaron Hurley joins us to find out just what you think about it. What did folks around Central Iowa have to say? I know we all have our opinions.
Everyone has an opinion. Ever since this story broke, Central Iowans have been talking about it around the water cooler, around the dinner table. Everybody has an idea of how this saga should have played out. One of the places they're talking tonight is Southridge Mall.
Oh, that's great. I think both of them should have gotten it. I'd hate to have seen it gone back to the state. I really would have.
It's a good thing that they are keep it out of the courts anyways. You know, it should never really went to court. You know, knowing she had, you know, being 20 years old, she should have kept her mouth shut and just wait until he got the check.
I think you should get all of it. And if he wants to split some with her, then he can. That's the way I feel.
They probably just did that to get it over with. So, that's my opinion.
We'll have more opinions and more facts on today's developments tonight on News Channel 8 at 10.
All right, before you two go, let me ask you, Brian, there have been so many dollar amounts thrown around in connection with this story. Exactly how much money are they going to split?
Well, you know, it all started out with the $28 million prize. That's whittled down to $16 million because they chose the cash option. After tax is about 33% what the lottery will be taking out here. That's going to be down to about $10.6 million. Then they split it into about $5.5 million apiece, minus attorney fees, of course.
And it's been earning about $2,000 a day in interest, right?
Yeah, they're going to be doing just fine in 7 figures.
Yeah, even with taxes. Thanks, both of you, for your team coverage.
An Urbandale woman was convicted of prostitution today. This came in a court in Story County.
Tina Bryson operated an exotic dancing club in Ames and was arrested last summer after an Ames police undercover operation. Rashini Rajkumar talked to Mrs. Bryson and the attorneys involved in the case, and what'd you find out?
Well, Jeanette and Kevin, Ms. Bryson says she was targeted by Ames police, but the prosecution says Ms. Bryson simply broke the law.
I call myself a businesswoman, a mother, a lap dancer.
But today, she left Story County Courthouse a convicted prostitute. Tina Bryson owns Blondie's on Duff Avenue in Ames. She was arrested last May and initially charged with 1 count of prostitution and pandering.
It just escalated. It's like a huge snowball of charges that I feel in my heart to this minute that I was wrongfully accused of.
The county attorney's office added charges after reviewing Iowa law and police reports from a 6-month undercover operation.
Merely offering to perform a sex act with another for money is sufficient to warrant a conviction.
Bryson says yes, provocative comments were made, but her attorney disagrees with how the law was used and how the comments were portrayed.
So the defense is this is all part of an act. It's the act of lap dancing.
Bryson thinks Ames and Story County just don't want adult clubs in town.
This was not a referendum on lap dancing or adult entertainment or anything of that nature. It was merely to decide if a crime had occurred.
The jury found Bryson guilty of 3 counts of prostitution and 1 count of pandering. She was acquitted of 2 other counts, and she is appealing the verdict, but her sentencing is still scheduled for April.
And this story is not over. Thanks, Rashini.
2 Iowa communities are notifying residents that sex offenders have moved into their neighborhoods. Curtis Lee Potter, residing at 2525 Grand in Des Moines, was convicted of 3rd-degree sexual abuse in Polk County stemming from an incident in 1994. Leroy Bloom of 965 222nd Drive in Ogden, convicted of assault with intent to commit sexual abuse in 1998 in Polk County. Now, Iowa law authorizes agencies to notify the communities when a person registered with the Iowa Sex Offenders has relocated to their town.
Des Moines police have arrested 2 more men in connection with a murder at Good Park way back in 1993. Twin brothers Daryl and Derek Holton are accused in the drive-by shooting of Lamont Sidney. The shooting happened in front of dozens of people at the park, but no one was willing to come forward with information at the time. The first-degree murder charge comes after nearly a 6-year investigation. And just last month, police filed murder charges against Babatunde Beeks, Sidney's murder.
Well, for months now, we've been telling you about the dangers of meth and the chemicals that are used to make it.
Last night, a Des Moines man may have learned firsthand when an anhydrous ammonia tank blows up in his face. That story when News Channel 8 continues.
You've heard the reports. Now it's here. New distinct broadleaf herbicide in corn. Light years beyond what you're using now. Distinct. So powerful you can see it start to work in 4 hours. Residual control keeps fields clean all the way to canopy. It's fast and it lasts. New distinct herbicide from BASF.
Life is a journey, a drive through Main Street America, a cruise down the interstate. And around every turn, there's Chevrolet. Right now, during Chevrolet's Highway 99, you'll find APR financing as low as 0.9% or cash back up to $1,500. So don't just sit there, hit the highway. Chevrolet's Highway 99, going on now for a limited time at your local Chevrolet dealer.
What no one's shown you about the mystery of the missing heiress and 2 teenage girls. Step by step, clue by clue. Timeline of the search for missing tourists. Watch the next Inside Edition. Tonight, right after News Channel 8 at 6.
This is it, Carpetback's biggest sale of the year. Hundreds of carpets, thousands of floors at our biggest discount. Berbers, plushes, textures, and incredible savings. Vinyl, wood, laminate floors on sale. Area rugs and ceramic tile at giveaway prices. Plus savings on top of savings with up to 2 years free financing or 10% off for cash. It's Carpetback's biggest sale of the year. Our best prices, plus savings on top of savings. Through Saturday, don't miss it.
Closed captioning of News Channel 8 is brought to you as a public service by KCCI and the cardiologists, surgeons, and staff at the Iowa Heart Center.
Anhydrous ammonia, once it leaves a container, it's quite hazardous.
And a Des Moines man finds out just how hazardous anhydrous ammonia can be. 37-year-old Brandon C. had allegedly stolen some anhydrous when the accident happened.
Now he's in the hospital in critical condition. News Channel 8's Michelle Parker joins us from the newsroom with the story. And Michelle, what can you tell us tonight?
Well, Brandon C. is being treated at Iowa Methodist for his critical burns. The Warren and Marion County Drug Task Force is investigating this case. Investigators say this crime happened overnight in rural Warren County. In Warren County, the theft of anhydrous ammonia is not unusual.
That's a very, very large concern.
In this case, investigators say the ammonia that 37-year-old Brandon C. and an accomplice stole blew up in C's face.
He has suffered serious burns on his face, throat, and also his lungs.
Authorities believe the men stole the ammonia in rural Warren County, then put it in a small tank much like this one. Investigators think the men wanted to make methamphetamine with it.
He stated that he and his friend had stolen some anhydrous in Warren County, put it in some type of a tank, and while they were transporting it back to Des Moines, it exploded.
This crime doesn't just happen in Iowa. This surveillance video of thieves stealing anhydrous ammonia in Missouri shows how volatile the substance can be.
Once it leaves a container, it's quite hazardous.
Back in Warren County, the people in Milo are always on the lookout at the South Central Co-op, but so far there have been no thefts here.
It's our location of town, and we've got a very good community here, and we kind of all look out for each other.
Now, after this particular accident and this crime, Brandon C.'s accomplice dropped him off at his house and took off. C.'s wife took him to the hospital. Authorities have been looking for that accomplice since, and they aren't releasing that man's name, although they do know it. They've also been trying to determine where exactly in Warren County the crime took place.
Michelle, with so many thefts happening, have farmers and co-ops taken any precautions?
Well, many have, although authorities say sometimes it's hard to tell if a theft has taken place because so little is taken at one time, and if they don't leave anything behind, there's nothing to indicate that something took place.
All right, Michelle Parker from the newsroom.
Well, the Iowa Utilities Board has now given that merger between Mid-American Energy and Cal Energy of Omaha a thumbs up. The merger was under review by the Utilities Board to make sure that Cal Energy, a highly leveraged growth company, doesn't plunder the more conservatively managed utility. Now, the merger is expected to be completed by March 12th.
And of course, one thing that everybody's talking about today is the weather. Brian Carrick's with us now, and for meteorologist John McLaughlin, what's happening?
Everybody's talking about the weather, especially the next storm system. This one was kind of, you know, we were expecting a few inches, but it dropped several inches just to the south. Again, another storm moving in for the end of the weekend. We'll tell you the details coming up next.
Problem?
Doctor said my cholesterol is still too high.
What about diet and exercise?
They didn't do enough.
So?
He suggested adding Lipitor.
Lipitor, the #1 prescribed medication for lowering cholesterol. In clinical studies, Lipitor with diet was proven to lower bad cholesterol 39 to 60%, total cholesterol 29 to 45%, triglycerides 19 to 37%.
He said over 4 million people have started taking Lipitor to lower their cholesterol.
Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver disease or possible liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant.
There'll be blood tests to check for liver problems.
Tell your doctor about muscle pain or weakness, as these may be signs of serious side effects.
You take Lipitor once a day.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist for more information on Lipitor and call 1-888-LIPITOR.
Well, Lipitor did it. My cholesterol's way down.
Lipitor, the lower numbers you're looking for.
Hi, we're the spokespeople for GCO Carpet and Color Tile Outlet.
America's #1 flooring outlet.
Lots of tile.
Rolls and rolls of big name carpet.
Vinyl wood, laminate too, in stock.
In style.
And ready to go.
At low outlet prices. There's only one GCO. Now bigger and better than ever at the corner of Southeast 14th and Army Post Road. Wow.
That'll floor them.
You gotta go to GCO.
Carpet and Color Tile Outlet.
This News Channel 8 weather forecast is sponsored by your local Jeep dealer.
Jeep Cherokee can climb a 30% grade. Laugh at an 80% chance of snow. Give you 100% freedom. And do it all for 10% less than the competition. Lease the new 99 Cherokee Sport for $269 a month and get all this at no extra charge. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
TGIF, everybody, as we come back to our downtown Skycam, we only saw a dusting of snow here across the metro area, but just to our south, some areas picked up as much as 8, 9, and even 10 inches of snow. 32 degrees our current temperature, cloudy skies. We have a northeast wind at 18 miles per hour, gusting up to 26 miles per hour. We do have a wind chill right now of 9, so if you have to be outside tonight, grab a scarf, some gloves, put on a hat. It's cold out there. Our dew point 29, relative humidity 89%, barometer on the rise at 30.03 inches. Hey, I was up at St. Aquinas yesterday in Webster City. Had a chance to talk with the kids up there. Great bunch of kids, a bunch of questions for me as well. We were really interested in weather, and it's good to know that some of those kids out there are. So I want to pass along a greetings to the kids up there in Webster City. As we look right now at live Super Doppler, we are picking up a couple of areas of some light snow showers just off to our east. Again, most of the action remained to the south and west and south and east of Des Moines today, so generally just to the south. Again, pushing off to the east. As we put it into motion, you can see a band of snow now just extending out towards Cedar Rapids, all the way down to Kirksville, where it's actually kind of a mixture of rain and snow. Some of the warmer air is trapped down in Missouri tonight. The snow advisory was issued earlier for parts of southeastern Iowa, and right now we're going to actually cancel parts of that snow advisory. As we can go onto the map, and you can see anywhere in this yellow area did have at one point a snow advisory, but again, they just recently canceled a big chunk of that, except for far east central Iowa. So if you have travel plans out beyond I-380, definitely want to be paying attention. The roads are slick. Temperatures out around central Iowa right now. The computer's still on the fritz, so we have to kind of bear with it here. 36 in Webster City, 32 in Boone, 34 in Carroll, 32 down there in Creston and Sheraton, also in Newton and Ames, 36 degrees in Knoxville, and in Atlantic as well. Let's take a look at the regional temperatures, and you can actually see that it's warmer down to the southeast. 52 degrees right now in St. Louis. We do have a cold front pushing through, and actually we have a warm front. It's kind of a stationary front at this point, and that's what helped to push up some of that warmer air. We had a cool pool of air coming down from the north, and that's what developed that snow across southern Iowa. Again, several inches piling up down there. It's 52 degrees in Garden City right now, 29 in Sioux Falls, 30 degrees for the Twin Cities, 18 up there in Duluth Superior, 19 in Thief River Falls. Some of that cooler air is going to try to pull in behind this area of low pressure as it moves on to the east. Again, severe weather possibilities are down to the south across parts of southern Missouri and southern Illinois. You can see the white clouds. The higher the cloud tops up, the whiter they're going to show up, and even a couple of areas with some colors. Those are some severe thunderstorms, again, down over Springfield, Missouri at this hour. This is a snowfall that moved across the state, now pushing into parts of Wisconsin. And Heidi Soliday in Chicago tonight, definitely snowing heavy there where she is. And as we look at regional Doppler, you can see a very large area of snowfall. They're expecting several inches in parts of Chicago. Here's a look at your Super Doppler forecast for tonight. Cloudy with the snow ending. As we look at a live shot, this is actually in Chicago right now. It is snowing quite heavily, big snowflakes, wet as well, as we look for a low of 19. Morning flurries, then a decrease in the clouds. Northeast wind tomorrow at 10 to as much as 30 miles per hour. Look for a high of 34. For tomorrow night, clear and cold. Dense fog possible in the southeast where the snowpack is, a low of 18. And for tomorrow on for Sunday, I'm so used to saying tomorrow with my morning forecast. Mostly sunny, increasing afternoon clouds, and then the snow rolls in. This looks like a big one. Monday and Tuesday, we could be looking at some very heavy snowfall, and at this rate, we're going to keep an eye on this over the weekend just in case.
Perfect for tournament time. High school tournaments always happen.
That's right.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. Well, coming up next on News Channel 8, the sports team is all over the snowy Midwest today.
But first, we're going to head to snowy Chicago. Heidi Soliday live via News Star 8 satellite for the latest on Big Ten basketball tournament action. Heidi?
Well, the latest is, guess what? It's snowing. You know that movie Vacation with Chevy Chase where he's going, this is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy. That's what we're all saying right now. Basketball in Chicago right after this.
Let's compare the Chevy S10 to the Ford Ranger, apples to apples. The S10 has more cargo space, more horsepower, and better gas mileage than the Ford Ranger. It has more room, and the S10 has standard four-wheel analog brakes. ABS costs extra on the Ford. And when it comes to affordability, the Chevy S10 is the obvious choice, because right now you can lease one for as little as $199 a month. So when you compare the rugged Chevy S10 with the others, the right truck is not hard to pick.
Catch the superstars of tomorrow at McDonald's All-American High School Basketball Game, March 24th at the Hilton Coliseum in Ames. To celebrate, McDonald's is offering a collectible cup featuring past All-American basketball greats like Kobe Bryant and Grant Hill. Yours free when you supersize any extra value meal, like a big extra sandwich with fries and a Coke, now just $2.99. Celebrate All-American basketball and make a fast break, too. Did somebody say McDonald's?
For up-to-the-minute weather information, day or night, call the News Channel 8 Super Doppler forecast at 262-7173. Sponsored by the Iowa State Center's Stevens Auditorium.
Last fall, there was big price news about Roundup Ultra. We've lowered the price on the world's most trusted herbicide. It's $10 less per gallon. Roundup Ultra broke through with the biggest price drop in history. Still, $10 less per gallon. That makes it cost the same or even less than weed control tillage. So park your plow and see your dealer for the biggest price breakthrough in Roundup history. Still $10 less per gallon than last spring.
6 months ago, we found out my husband Don didn't have long to live. I didn't know how we would cope. A friend suggested I call Hospice of Central Iowa to help us make the most of our time left together. I realized that we didn't need to face his illness alone. The caring staff and volunteers allowed Don to remain comfortable at home. And they didn't just support my husband, they helped me too. When the focus turns from cure to care, it's time to call Hospice of Central Iowa.
We are live outside the United Center in Chicago where it is snowing very heavily. They're expecting 6 inches inside. It's nice and warm. A couple of games on tap tonight, but first we're going to talk about Iowa. Nothing going on outside to warm the hearts of Iowa fans who saw yet another team go long distance to beat the Hawks. Nice crowd on hand for day 2. Game 1 a bit slow at first. A good time to check out that new Monica book. As far as the Hawks play in the first half, a one-man show. Jess Settles, a jumper for a 2-point lead. Jess Settles with a 3. Settles inside. 12 points in the first half for Jess. And was the 6-year senior an inspiration to his teammates? Check out the no-look pass to J.R. Koch for the slam. At the half, the Hawks led by 2. Remember back in January when the Badgers dogged Iowa with their three-point shooting? They found it again today in the second half. Leading scorer Sean Mason with 2 quick trays as Wisconsin took a 1-point lead early in the second half. Then John Bryant, remember him? This 3 tied it up at 44. Ty Calderwood's 3 gave the Badgers an 8-point lead with less than 6 minutes to go. The Hawks would get to within 6 with 3 minutes to go, but no closer. The final, Wisconsin 74, Iowa 60.
This team has put a lot into this year to get where they are, and then when you see them fall short, hey, you got to give Wisconsin credit, and that's what we try to talk about. They're a good ball club, and they beat us.
Well, it was a little disappointing, there's no question, but it was fun to play out in United Center. It was we got beat by a good team, and you know, with so many teams going in NCAAs, you know, we might run into one again. So that was a tough one.
We just got beat. You know, we'd like to have got Coach Davis a win in the Big Ten tournament, but you know, we failed, and we're going to have to pick ourselves up and get ready for the postseason.
Whatever postseason the Hawks have now will be decided sometime after 5:30 on Sunday. In other games here at the United Center, there's one over. Michigan State survived against Northwestern 61-59. Tonight it's Ohio State, Michigan, and Indiana, Illinois. And don't forget the men's Big Ten semifinals you can see right here on Channel 8 at 1:35 tomorrow. At 2 o'clock Sunday, it's the championship game and the selection show exclusively on Channel 8 at 5:30 on Sunday. It was an idle day for the Cyclone women down in Kansas City, but tomorrow they go for the Big 12 tournament title. Let's go down now to Kansas City and John Myers for a visit with the Clones.
Welcome back to Kansas City. It's a day off for the women's tournament, but as you can see behind me, no day off for the Cyclones, who have a tough task ahead. They face the #1 seed Texas Tech Red Raiders tomorrow night in the Big 12 championship.
I think there's not much pressure on us. I think most of the pressure's on them, but we still have that game in the back of our minds, and we know, I mean, we watched the film today, and we saw what we did wrong, and I just think that we have to go into the game confident and know that we can win.
Great job last night. Y'all played awesome.
Thank you.
I played great, man.
The path to the championship has been a breeze for Iowa State. Against Kansas in the semis, they took the lead early and won by a bunch. Beating KU 3 times in a season is a first, as is playing for the tournament title.
Very proud to represent Iowa State in this game, and our kids have worked very hard, and hopefully just getting here isn't going to be enough.
This one should be a lot of fun. Both teams have a huge following of fans, and it's going to be a noisy affair when this one tips off tomorrow night at 7. With the Cyclones in Kansas City, I'm John Myers. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, John. The Big Ten men playing as well at Kemper Arena. It was Texas over Colorado, 82-76, and Oklahoma State by 3 over Oklahoma. Tonight we have Missouri and Kansas State, and Kansas and Nebraska. The Women's Missouri Valley Tournament going on tonight as well over at the Knapp Center. I don't know how much snow you guys are getting, but we are getting a lot.
Yeah, we can tell.
It's okay here, Heidi. It all melted here. All right, get back.
Go away.
Get back inside. Go on ahead.
A record day on Wall Street today. We'll take a look at the numbers next.
News Channel 8 is the leader in special reports. Cynthia Fodor took you behind the scenes of the Miss USA pageant in Branson.
I felt so good about it.
Brian Paulson showed you how to beat crime and become a better eyewitness. Steve Carlin covered the Daytona 500. Todd Magel gave you a sneak peek at the Chicago Auto Show. Cynthia Fodor found out if your child's school cafeteria was safe behind kitchen doors. Jeanette Treppeter took you backstage at the Grammys.
Hello, Des Moines.
And Jeff Greenwood investigated bad landlords. The best special reports. Another reason News Channel 8 is Iowa's news leader. News Channel 8 at 6 is being simulcast on KDLS Radio in Perry, 1310 AM and 105.5 FM.
They say trust is like a slow-growing plant, never to be hurried, not to be rushed. For over 160 years now, John Deere has earned your trust by building reliable products and maintaining them with genuine J.D. parts and service. There's no substitute for the real thing. So to all of you who know that trust is earned over the course of time, thank you from John Deere and your John Deere dealer. Genuine J.D., a tradition of trust.
News Channel 8 wants to take your school by storm. Announcing the Storm Team Tour 99, starring meteorologist John McLaughlin, Mike Lozano, Jason Parkin, and Brian Kerrick. It's a thunderous multimedia weather show powered by AVI Systems, featuring demonstrations, experiments, and more. Plus, you'll get a free souvenir courtesy of your Central Iowa Taco John's. Just send us a letter or email us telling us about your school's interest in weather. News Channel 8 Storm Team Tour 99. It'll blow you away.
stock market soared to a record high today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed 268 points for that record, the fifth biggest one-point gain for the Dow Industrials. Their first close above 9,700. And for the week, the Dow average has gained 429.5 points.
We are out of time, but keep it posted on News Channel 8 for the latest on your weather situation throughout the evening. See you later.